So a few final keys I wanted to cover just with handling objections. First one is just to make sure you pause before you respond. That way they can see that you're actually thinking about what they said. You want to be sincere. Say things like, I completely understand. Hey, I completely understand how you feel, right? I completely understand how you feel. Very different, right? So you want to memorize these. Obviously, you could have the paper with you, but if somebody's like, I want to talk to my spouse about it, and you're like, hold that thought, Mrs. Jones, if you want to talk to your spouse about it, you can, but blah, 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 right? It's very different, right? It's too expensive. So you're saying you like Cutco and you want it, it's just that you think that it's too expensive. Okay, well, it's very different than going through the objection, looking the customer in the eyes so that it's coming from you versus coming from us. Next, you want to make sure that you do step 4. Always ask again. That shows your confidence. And it really helps if you memorize that. So that way you're ready for anything. It also comes across more confidently when you have it memorized. So the next thing we're going to talk about is dropping down and upserving. Dropping down and upserving. So when it comes to dropping down properly, I want to give you some tips. So when you don't sell one of the 3 first sets, you want to carry your enthusiasm into dropping down. So if they still don't want those, obviously you'll try and handle the objection, but if they still don't want those, no big deal. Hey, that's why we have the transition. Even our best reps only sell one of those 3 sets 1/3 of the time. Our average reps, it's 1 or 2 out of 10. And so you got to be prepared to drop down. Make them feel comfortable and don't lose your enthusiasm. Hey, no problem. Whether it's too much money or too many knives, you'll definitely love our starter sets, Mrs. Jones. Next, you want to promote your favorite set. So as an example, if you really like the galley set, hey, I'm glad I finally get to show you the galley set, Mrs. Jones. This is my favorite set in the book. I highly recommend this one to all of my customers. And honestly, I think this would be perfect for you. As I mentioned, it's only a few less tools for a lot less money. You still get and then you go through all of the pieces excitingly, right? With enthusiasm. You got to have fun as you're dropping down. Get more excited as you drop down. People love buying. It's fun to spend money. Ask for the order and wait. You have to give them a chance to say yes or no. Don't take no personally. They're not saying no to you. They're just saying no to that set. Never skip a set or an option. You want to do all of the steps. Every set has the right tools, a built-in discount, comes with free stuff, and it's safer. Also, every no gets you closer to a yes. The closer that you get to the average order of $250, the better chances you have of getting a yes. Also, everybody has a number on their back. So you never know what someone's comfort level is. I'm sure you know somebody with that resting, bee face. So it takes the average person 1 to 4 times of saying no before they feel comfortable saying yes. Some people are 1s, meaning they always buy everything, right? These are our shopaholics. Show them Cutco. Some people are 4s, meaning they've got to say no 3 times before they'll feel comfortable saying yes. It has nothing to do with the price and everything to do with just the way that they're wired. So as an example, somebody who gets a galley set, it just means that they were wired to say no to the first thing you offered and then yes to the second thing. Realize if they can afford a galley set, they can afford a homemaker set. It's like an extra $50 a month, $12 a week. They can afford both. They're just more comfortable with the second option because they're a number 2. If they're a number 2, they're going to say yes to the second thing you offer. If you go from a homemaker to a paring knife, they're going to say yes to the paring knife, the second thing you offered. So they're wired as a 2. So we never want to skip, right? So there's 4 steps: the signature, the homemaker, the essentials, starter sets. Then you've got the customized options and the reserve your buy now bonus. Next, you always want to write down prices. So giving them a visual is so important. Most people are visual. This is going to help them to picture it into their budget. They can compare prices with previous options as well. So focus on the 5-pay. I always circle it. So which of these starter sets did you like the best, Mrs. Jones? The galley set. Okay, great. Well, that would be $919, but you could do it over 5 months interest free for just $197. That would only be $50 a week. What do you think about that option, right? Have it written down for them so you can compare previous options. By the way, when you do that, sometimes you drop down again and they're like, well, you know what, that last deal, it was only $40 more a month, and then I get way more stuff and I get more free stuff. So I'm just going to go with the last deal, right? So it's very helpful to have it written on paper. A great place to do that is the back of your last referral page. So wherever their referrals are going to go, the back of that. And that way you can keep track of what they like, and you can always call back to get future orders as well. Next, you want to use the buy now bonus as an incentive for them to buy more and to help you sell more. So we're going to review how the free stuff works in a few minutes, but first thing I want you to understand is why the buy now bonus is so important. 99 times out of 100, not now means never. So write down not now means never. Not your mom or your grandma, but from this point forward, if someone doesn't buy on the spot, it's a no sale. Even if it's like, oh, we get paid next Friday, come back next Friday, they're not going to get it next Friday, 9 times out of 10. So you have to do whatever you can do to get them to buy something today. Offer as much free stuff as is allowed. Call us for a better deal. Hey, they want the homemaker, but they want to get it next week. What can we do for them, right? Get them to try one item now. Reserve the buy now bonus. So if they want to get a homemaker set, have them reserve the buy now bonus, have them get like a trimmer for $73. Now, when they get the homemaker next week or a month from now, what we'll do is we'll reimburse them the $73 for the duplicate trimmer, and now they'll still get the free scissors, which they wouldn't have otherwise gotten. So they're saving $112 by getting a trimmer today. Why would they not just get a trimmer? So if they get a trimmer today, by the way, you think they're going to like it? Of course, they're going to love Cutco. Everybody loves Cutco. And if they like it, what are they going to want to do later? Come back and get the rest of the set. So that's why a trimmer today, a guaranteed trimmer today, is always better than the promise of a homemaker tomorrow. So let's take a few minutes to review how free stuff works. All right. So you always want to offer a better option before you drop down. So here's how the buy now bonus works. You can give up to 20% of the retail price in bonus points. As an example, a homemaker set is $12.73. So 20% of that would be $254. To calculate that, a very easy way to do it would just be to divide by 5. So $12.73 divided by 5 would get you to $254. That's the maximum number of bonus points you could give. So as an example, $100 of retail would be 20 bonus points. $1,000 retail, 200 bonus points. So as an example, if they were to get a galley set, $919, right? Well, divide by 5 and you could get 180 bonus points. So right now, the default buy now bonus for all of our first set options is a pair of super shears. The super shears, if you open up your price list to the inside, you'll see the super shears have a retail of $112, but they're only 75 bonus points. So with the homemaker, they're getting 75 points with the scissors. Well, how did we get my mom such a great deal? We threw in the ice cream scoop and we threw in the traditional cheese knife, And I guess I could have even given her a little bit more, but that was like all she was excited about. So it was pretty cool. She got a great deal. Now, remember, the purpose of the bonus points is to help you make more money, not less money. So it's designed to be a win-win scenario for you and for the customer. So as an example, the buy now bonus is a win for you because you avoid the let me think about it objection, or I'm going to come back next week objection. And it's going to be a win for your customer because they get a free pair of shears. That's why we offer a buy now bonus by default. Another way that you can use the buy now bonus system to create a win-win scenario is in the case of upserving. Upserving is what you do to increase the size of a sale after your initial yes. Customers are used to this, by the way. You probably are too. Think about when you're at a restaurant. If you're like most people and you go to a restaurant, the way that you pick the restaurant you're going to go to is based upon the meal that you are going there for. So when I'm deciding where I want to go out to eat with my wife, I'll think about what am I hungry for tonight? And I'm thinking of the main course. So I want a burger tonight, right? I want a steak tonight. And I want Italian tonight. I want pasta, right? I'll decide on the main course of what I want to eat. But then when I get to the restaurant, the waitress is going to come over, and what are they going to ask me if I want? Can I get you anything to drink? You got it. And then before taking your order, typically they'll ask you, would you like any before your main course? Would you like any appetizers before your main course? Then they'll come and ask you what you want for your entree, the thing that you originally wanted. And then after you eat that, what do they ask you if you want to get at the end? Would you like to get some dessert, right? And if they're really good, they'll ask if you want any after dinner drinks, right? So sometimes that's coffee, sometimes that's like a spirit of some kind, So you went in to buy one thing, the main course, but what you ended up doing was buying, you might not have said yes to all of them, but you probably said yes to at least 3, at least 2, right? So that's normal, right? That's what you're used to. And so are they, right? When they're shopping. So your initial decision of where to go to eat, that was the toughest decision that you had to make, right? But after you make that initial decision, you're already in the restaurant. Yeah, we're already here, right? Then it's easy to add things to your order. So it's the same thing for the customer, right? The toughest decision for them was what to say yes to first. But now that you've gotten the original yes out of the way, it's much easier for them to add things to their order. Let me give you an example. A customer decides to buy 2 pieces. You say something like, hey, Mrs. Jones, because you're getting 2 knives, if you were to add just 1 more to your order, I could actually give you a 4th item for free. How does that sound? Or, sounds like a no-brainer, right? You get 1 more, and then I give you 1 for free. It's like buy 1, get 1. That's crazy, right? Or a customer decides to get 3 knives, and you happen to notice that all 3 of those, the paring knife, the petite carver, and the spatula spreader, they're all in the studio set. So you'd say, hey, Mrs. Jones, I don't know if this matters to you or not. So this is very laid back. This isn't pressure. Hey, I don't know if this matters to you or not, but for just $20 more per month, you could actually get a free block, a free cutting board, and a free pair of super shears, which would save you like $112. It'd be a much better deal for you. Would you rather do that instead? Literally 50% of the time when you ask like that, hey, because you're getting this, if you were to add this to your order, I could also give you this for free, which would be a much better deal for you. Would you like to do that instead? 50% of the time, they say yes when you ask like that. So realize that in both cases, you're creating a win-win scenario because they're getting some free stuff and you're getting a bigger sale than you would have otherwise gotten. So my final tip for dropping down is always offer a better option after you get the first yes. Now, here's a few deals. I like to call these my back pocket specials that you can use every single time. These deals always work. So here's the first deal. Buy a second knife, meaning they agreed to buy just one. Like you dropped all the way down, they reserved their buy now bonus. So you start entering the order, and then it's like, it hits you. It's like, oh, hey, you know, Mrs. Jones, I just realized that we got this back pocket special where if you get just one more knife, I could actually get you a free cutting board, peeler, or an ice cream scoop, which would save you anywhere from like 20 to 50 bucks. So would you want to add on a second knife? Even better is like if you know they really liked the spatula spreader, hey, if you add on the spatula spreader, I could throw in the ice cream scoop for free. And then what we could do, since your order would be over $100, we could actually put it on a 2-month payment plan. So you'd actually pay the same price today. However, you'd get some free stuff, and it would just be 2 months instead of 1 month. Would you like to do that? Right? It just makes sense, right? So another deal that works every time, the CPO always works out. So you can only do the 20 to 100, you know, you can't do better than that, you know, and you never want to start with that because then you don't have a better deal to offer them. So here's what happened. You dropped all the way down. They decided to get just 2 knives. Well, they buy a third one and you give them a fourth one for free. And out of the 4 items, it'd be whatever the cheapest one is, okay? So they decided to get 2, right? So you were right around here. And then you're like, hey, if you get this one, I'll give you this one for free. So you're going to be higher, right? Every time. Bigger sale, right? Even though you're giving free stuff. Let's say they decided to get 3 knives, right? This is my favorite deal. If they buy a 4th knife, okay, we'll give them a 5th knife and a storage tray, which holds all 5, for free. So they buy 1 more knife and they get 2 items for free. Usually the savings is around $100 on that deal. What's really cool about that deal is it's usually right around the $400 to $450 a month range, which qualifies them for a 5-month payment plan. And the payment is usually only around $80 to $90 a month. $80 to $90 a month for the 5 pieces that they picked that you know they're going to use all the time. They're going to love Cutco. It's an incredible deal. So these are some back pocket specials that always work. I just want to comment on the fact that when they do a buy 3, get 1 free, that always works. So here's what's cool. Buy 3 pieces of cookware, get 1 free, as long as it's the cheapest, right? So they pick 4, and the cheapest one is the free one. Buy 3 gift sets, get 1 free. Buy 3 gift sets, get 1 free. Gift sets are like $150 to $250 a piece, right? They buy the 3 more expensive ones, and then they get the 4th cheapest one for free. Always works. Check this out. Buy 3 homemakers, get 1 free. How crazy would that be, right? How do you do that? Well, they agree to buy the homemaker, and you're like, hey, Mrs. Jones, did you just want 1 of those? Okay, just checking, right? Now, if you ask everybody, I guarantee you, someone eventually will be like, you know what, we got that second home, or you know what, there's a wedding coming up, let's get another one, right? And then now you got 2, right? And it's like, well, hey, I don't know if this matters or not, but if you actually buy 3, you could get a 4th one for free. I mean, who else could you think of that could benefit from a homemaker set? And hey, you might get a buy 3, get 1 free on a homemaker. So what we're going to do now, we're going to role play dropping down. I want you to start at the transition. So whether it's too many pieces or too many knives, keep in mind all the ideas that I went through here with you. Feel free to offer a better deal once your customer says yes, your partner here, and let's go ahead and role play dropping down.